Morning, y'all. Well, it's almost afternoon. This is a very emotional subject. Um, I've been watching the reports from Hurricane Helene and how it affected the towns in North Carolina. Thank goodness my sister lives in eastern North Carolina, is not affected by this. What I saw in the video this morning was heartbreaking. The entire town's washed away. This guy did a Now, these are on the ground reports. These are not sanitized news reports. He walked up to Chimney Rock, which is a well known town by Laura Lake in North Carolina near Asheville. The scene is just literally described like a bomb went off. He's walking down the road. You have big boulders scattered on the road. You have strips, little strips like this wide, like a foot wide, of pavement that's left of the road with cracks in it. He gets to where the bridge was. There's a piece of uh, I-beam wrapped like it was wrapped around a tree sitting where the bridge was. The bridge is gone. Not just knocked out, completely gone. He had to walk across rocks to get across where the bridge was. He walked into the town of Chimney Rock. There's literally not much left. He interviewed this lady standing in the street by her house. The street side of the house looks just fine. The other side of the house is not fine. He asked her how she survived, and she said her and her husband took the dog and the two cats across the street to the post office. She said when they got across the street to the post office, they decided to go back. She said they had been smart and parked their cars across the street in the post office parking lot. And she said they were walking back and forth from the house to the car to put stuff in the car. And she said then she seen the water rising in the street. And they decided to gather the dog and the two cats and just get out of there. Well, she said the water was a quarter way up on the post office door, and she said the door opens out, and it happened to be the direction in which the water was going. And she said when they opened the door, the one cat rushed out into the water and got up on a piece of debris, and they watched it go down the river. She said they grabbed the kitten and the dog, got in the car, and they left and went further up the mountain. And she said the devastation kept getting worse going further up the mountain. That is something that I just can't fathom. Even after watching the videos, how can the devastation be as bad in the valley as up high on the mountain? That's just baffling to me. Having been a truck driver and driven across mountains, it still baffles me. Even though I saw the videos and saw what's left, and when I described what the other side of her house looks like, okay, she has a seemingly a very well built house, because when they took the man with the camera inside, the house on the other side is still standing. She then showed watermarks inside of the house where the water was at least 10 or 12 foot high inside the house, and the house is still standing. Then she took and she showed, she said, now our backyard was 200 yards away from the river. She said, our house sit back 200 yards from the river. She showed out the French doors, which are no longer there, and there's a 15 to 20 foot drop off from the edge of the door to where the ground now is. She said there was grass up to the door. Then it showed a big boulder, and probably as big around as my koi pond here, which is 6 foot across. There was one scattered about 10 foot away from the door, another one scattered 20 foot. She said, I don't know where them rocks came from. There were no rocks in my yard at all. Just baffling. Her, she said that they are going to try to rebuild right there because she wouldn't live anywhere else. That she said, but how do you cope with the fact that you own property that is now not there? And I thought about that for a minute, and she's right. How do you cope with the fact that there is your property went from your door 200 yards to the river? 200 yards is like from here to that alley back there where that truck is parked. That's how far she was away from the river to her door. And now the river comes right up to her door. It washed away all of the dirt.